Hello, hello.
Hello, Stepan. How are you today?
Good, perfect. How are you?
Not bad. So it's sunny finally in Prague.
Yeah, that's great. Not here, but it's also nice. Uh, Actually, today we agree that we will discuss a bit about VRAM. What does it mean? What does it mean in context of Gen AI creation? And let's also discuss some possibilities, pricing, stuff like that. So actually, first of all, I know you are a geek. Can you please explain me what the VRAM actually is?
VRAM, it's like video RAM. So it means video RAM. It means that this is a portion of memory which is used for the GPU to store the data and manipulate the data. Actually, this is
Okay, so does it mean that on if I want to use some AI model, it must be stored in the VRAM. It cannot be stored like normally on a hard drive.
not on the hard drive because you are like performing like massive computations on the GPU cores against those data. So if you have a model, there is a lot of, let's say, different types of data structure that needs to be used and manipulated using like the GPU cores, which is like super fast. So and you need like the super fast memory to being like effective in those computations. And this is why the VRAM is normally referred to the GPUs, for example, NVIDIA. So if you have an NVIDIA and this is 4060, for example, which has like 8 gigabytes of VRAM, it means that you can take like the 8 gigabytes and put them into that VRAM and start to manipulate them or start to work with them.
Okay, and yeah, so maybe let's discuss a bit these consumer cards for the beginning. So you said that 4060 has like 8 gigs. Then I did some research, so I think that the maximum you can get with 5090, which is the newest one, is 36, if I'm correct. Or
Yeah, actually, it is 32. It depends on the particular configuration. But if you scroll down, maybe. But you know what? Let's start. Maybe let's start. Okay, scroll down, please, and let's go through the consumer cards.
yes,
So what does it mean?
yeah, here we have it.
You have 4060, which is like 8 gigs, but you have like the 5080 or 4080 with 16 gigs, and then 90s, it means like the 5090 or 4090 that has like 24, but it might go up to 32 in some kind of configurations. But I think that those like 32 configurations will be like also kind of expensive. So you have like the comparison of the cost of the Nvidias on the right. So you
Yeah,
see more memory, more money.
of course. Yeah. So also, I wanted to ask if I understand it correctly that basically, if I have a big model, so typically these video models are quite large, or let's say text to video or image to video ones, and if I, for example, have only like 8 or even 16 gigs, and the model has 20, 24, something like that, I simply can't use it right on my own. There is no way how to, I don't know, like use only part of the model or compress it or something like that.
Yeah, normally not. It won't fit the memory, so you cannot load it into the memory. There are like, of course, like some systems designed that the just the RAM of the computer can be shared with the GPU. So for example, in Mac you have it like that. So for example, if you have a Mac Studio with 192 gigs of unified memory, which is like for like the normal computer and the GPU shared.
Uh-huh.
So it will fit. But those NVIDIA memories, VRAMs, are like super fast and super fine tuned for the GPU purposes. So it's better to have that. But to answer the question, no, it won't fit. Normally, like 8 gigs is just for the smaller models. It might be either like the LLMs, might be also for some, let's say, small multimodals or Gen AI for images. For example, like the basic stable diffusion will fit in 8 gigs, so you can
Mhm.
use it on your like lower category NVIDIAs. But it is just one that fit into the memory. But imagine that you are advanced artist and you have like the control nets in your ComfyUI setup,
Hmm.
and you need to load like the multiple models, not only like the generic one, but also your LoRa's, for example, or other models to layer them in your workflow,
Hmm.
then it won't fit into the memory. So you
Ah,
are lost.
actually, that's true because yeah, if I'm creating some workflows in ConfUI, typically I'm having there more not the main models, but some LoRa's, some like other smaller models. So it all must fit into the VRAM. Okay, got it. Makes sense. Um, so when we were preparing this comparison table, we put here also the bigger ones.
Mhm.
So you're talking right now about the RTX consumer NVIDIA's, but we have here also like L4, H100, A100, a lot of cool names, but also like a big price tag and big VRAM. So when it makes sense to use these ones and actually how to access them.
Yeah, actually, those L4s, A10s, those are NVIDIA's or the cards which are like focused to deploy them in data centers.
Hmm.
So it means that it's like the piece of hardware that normally fits into the servers. You know, you have a server in the data center, and then you can access those, let's say, NVIDIA's or GPUs or graphic cards. Normally, you can use it for like virtual workstations, for example, graphical one, that you can like make a portions of those video cards and distribute it to the individual users. But you
Hmm.
can also use them in one machine, you know, like the full card in one machine, and to use all the memory available for fitting your models. So, but normally these cards are first kind of, let's say, expensive. Second, it won't fit to normal computer because they have also like different bus connectors, or how to call it easily. They are just prepared to fit into the servers.
Do you know about some models, or actually, I think there is one, but maybe you know it better about some models that if we are like talking about these consumer ones, and let's take that the maximum we have here is 24. I know that there could be also the 32, but let's stick with the 24 one. That would simply like not fit. So I have, even if I would have the 5090, I would pay for it a lot of money, and I would like to use some model. I can do that because it simply won't fit.
Yeah, if you scroll up for a moment,
Yeah.
yeah, just imagine that you'd like to use like the WAN 2.2, like the recent
Hmm.
generation with your Gen AI model that has like the 14B complexity.
Uh-huh.
It normally means that with the standard precision, you need at least like 28 gigs to comfortably sit in your GPU. So this is like a big portion. Of course, you can use like the optimized precision, then it will fit into your like the consumer card. But this is more for, let's say, the testing, not for the production work, let's say. And but the real problem comes when you need to, let's say, retrain the model, because then
Hmm.
you need a huge portion of memory to retrain models like that, which
Yeah, I
you cannot
see.
normally use in your consumer card on your PC. Then you need some, let's say, beast, to run it on. And also, if I was just mentioning those 28 gigs of memory, just imagine that you have like the biggest card, with a 32, for example, in your consumer PC.
Hmm.
It probably will fit there, but
It's
what
just one, right?
yeah, what if you need, let's say, to combine to create some, let's say, really interesting pipeline for you, or pipeline you really need. So
Hmm.
you are lost as well.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask one thing, and then we can discuss the price and how we can access it a bit. So, um, if I have, let's say, this like one 2.2 14B model, and I also check the Hugging Face, and then they're writing there that it's best to use it on 8 GPUs. And basically, here in the spreadsheet, we were discussing that the big ones has like 80 gigs of VRAM, for example. So I could have 8 of them, right? And does it then mean that I have like six? 140 VRAM in total that can be used by all these like 8 GPUs.
Yes, it means that you can combine it together. So if you have like to your computer, eight GPU cards is connected, and you can use all the memory to run your model. But normally it is not achievable in your like consumer computer. You need to have it in data center, in fact. And as well, you probably won't spend for, let's say, generating your video like million US dollars to just buy the cards, you know. So
Not me, unfortunately. Maybe sometimes in the future it might be nice to have it in a closet. But okay, so we have here like this huge prices, and yeah, we are talking about data centers, so like cloud and things like that. Uh, what would be the price if I want to like let's say rent, I don't know, let's say L40 or H100 for like working with that like for one day to actually generate some like real videos, something that I can use in my like real production pipeline.
yeah, if you scroll down, normally like the instances with those GPUs are rent on hour basis. So normally the
Hmm.
cost is just computed like that. So imagine that you need a beast with many H100 NVIDIAs, eight of
Hmm.
them with 640 gigs in total. You know, it normally costs like $98 per hour, which might sound like a lot of money, you know, but imagine the output you'll get. So you have like the super performant computer that helps you to train your models or run super complicated like the pipelines of Gen AI.
Hmm. And okay, yeah, that makes sense. And by the way, so we have our own Remangu, but what if I would like to just like access it using AWS Google Console, like how difficult it is to actually like get there and make it working for my use case.
Oh, it really depends on your skills, of course, you know. So if you are a cloud engineer, you can do it like pretty easily.
Mm.
If you are an artist who just need to run workflows, it might be a little bit more complicated because you need to have like the AWS account. You need to understand how to create like the EC2 workloads. You need to understand how to get connected to the computer, how to make it secure, how to connect to the computer like efficiently, you know.
Mm.
And then you need to install all the software because you'll start with the operating system. You need to install everything which is needed to run your models, in fact. And it's a work, and you need like the specific skills for that.
Okay, okay. Or small advertisement, you can use Remangu, right?
Yeah, because in Remangu, you can just click to have a computer with this memory, you know, in a minute. So you just log into Remangu, you click, you have that computer, which might already have all the software pre-installed, and you just start generating your art.
Cool, cool. Sounds good. Is there something we forgot to discuss around the VRAM and how it's connected with AI art and things like that?
Of course, there is like the many things which I don't understand, for example. So maybe some experts will help us to go deeper in that discussion. So I'd
Okay.
like to, let's say, ask you to comment it, you know, and to destroy our thoughts, to just to break it down to the particular atoms, if you want. And but for those who just need to, let's say, run the Gen AI securely on the big computers, so we are here for you, so we can help you with that.
Cool, cool. Nice talk. And yeah, let's see what we'll prepare for the next topic. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Ciao.
have a great day. Ciao.